Good morning, Blanche. Hey, honey, how you doing? You are Brodyville all the way, girlfriend. How many eggs do you have? Easy. Let's see. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Okie dokie artichoke. Hey, girls. I need to get eggs for the water glass bucket. And I need to give you fresh bedding again. Oh, look at those clean eggs. Oh, fresh, fresh, fresh. Okay, so if you're water glassing eggs or attempting to water glass eggs, they have to be day old, farm fresh, unwashed, pretty much from the hen's honey, y'all, to go straight into where you're going to be putting them, whether it's a crock, a food grade bucket, or whatever you're using, your large jars for them. So I just went in, this is the second time, we're not even at lunch yet, and I've gotten 3 eggs, not 20, but just 3. This may be all I get today that's this clean to water glass. So I'm getting a lot of questions about that. Now the next time I come back, I'm gonna have to bring fresh bedding in. I'm trying to give fresh bedding at least every day, every other day, so that I can continue to get these beautiful, pristine, unwashed, farm fresh eggs. And by this evening or later this afternoon, just whenever, I'll just submerge them and keep adding as we go. I'm using around 1 to 2 gallon buckets and jars right now, glass and food grade for these. I'm not doing the 3 to 5 gallon. I think that's too big for me. You do, it works for you, no big deal, but I'm doing a smaller one. So, but see, you have to be out here several times a day actively collecting so that they don't get a chance to break the eggs, get mud on the eggs, poop on the eggs. It's a little bit more work than usual, but worth it in the end. Look how cool I've gotten. Got me a new little doodilly sun hat. At least I can wash it a lot. And maybe it'll pin my ears in. What do you think? Hey, let's talk about some stuff, share some new stuff, and get planting. It's hot. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. So there's a lot going on the farm right now. I'm trying to get used to this hat. I don't know, y'all. This is a whole new gig for me. It's pretty comfortable, but anyway. So we have pretty much finished fencing in all of our fields, and we've also fenced in our major garden area. And yes, Coach Cheese doesn't know who I am with the hat on, so if you hear him barking, that's what's going on. But so I want to show you this first because I want you to see all the potatoes that I have in the ground, because we're going to talk about planting potatoes here in a little bit. And I have some seed potatoes left over, some Yukon Golds, and I've been debating for a couple of weeks what I was going to do with them, and, or you know, how I was going to plant them. Do I want to put them in the ground, or should we do some urban style? And you know, God has perfect timing, and so now I know what I'm going to do, so I'm going to show you. So the fencing is pretty much done. It's taken us 2 years to get to this point for many reasons: money and availability of workers and money and all of that stuff. We've done some of this ourselves. We've had to go get a lot of it, but we've also had a gentleman come and help us, and he's been fabulous. We couldn't put up fencing quite this good. We've done some on our own. I'm telling you, he did a great job. So before I show you a couple of things over here, I'm going to show you something right here, because these are some things I've put on social media that you guys are asking about. So I'm going to be doing strawberries this way. I call it my strawberry pool. And a lot of you out there have used baby pools for planting. You can use things that pretty much don't need to be super, super deep, okay? Deep root systems. So things like onion are great, strawberries are great, maybe some lettuces and whatnot. So last fall, I picked up on some extra baby pools and put them away because we use baby pools for our ducks and geese, okay? And so I got them on clearance at in almost December for like $3 a piece at the Dollar General. Go figure, girl. And so we picked up 3 or 4 extras, threw them in the truck, brought them home, put them in the basement. So one of the ones I used last year, I pulled out. We've put some holes in it in the bottom because you do want the drainage. And I had an extra set of strawberries. This wasn't what I was originally going to do with the strawberries, but the well that I'm about to show you that we had a new pump put in for, we have our well hookup now going, it kind of has delayed my planting area where they have to bring the truck in. So I wanted the strawberries to get started. I didn't want to waste them. I didn't want to have to come up with something different. So I thought, well, we're going to do old school because I've done something like this very similar in the past when I lived in a neighborhood. I lived out in the hood, y'all, with an HOA and everything. Can you believe that? I can't believe I did that. But anyway, that was then. This is now. But I did rock gardening. I didn't do a particular baby pool with this type of style, but I did it with rocks. And it was just this deep, and it worked. So let me show you. So several of you have commented to me and talked about how great this has worked for you. I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer. You really don't want to put something with deep roots in this shallow. I mean, if you've got a baby pool this high, okay, that's different. You have to think about the depth of your plants. So if you're trying to go for like deep squash, corn, or tomatoes, this is not going to be your gig, okay? You need to know that they need to spread. If you really grow tomatoes right, this is not typically going to work. So I don't want to say never because somebody will come back and say, well, it worked for me. But you can see I've put in about 20, I think I put in 20 plants in this. Might be a little bit more than I want, but like I said, what I'm trying to do is to make sure they're already taking off. I did this yesterday, and what I have in here, I just use simple garden soil. I got this from Aldi. The organic garden soil. These were $4.99 a bag, and it only took 2. Actually, one of them was open. It was like 1 3/4, and I filled it up. Now, again, I'll show you where we have the holes. James put some holes in it for me on the bottom, and you can probably do some around the side. We put that in there, mix it up, and then I put in my wood chips. So I am using my composted wood chips that I have over in my lasagna garden, okay? That's gonna help keep moisture in, and that's gonna help feed it. And so then I put the little strawberries in. Like I said, that's already taking off from yesterday, so they're liking it. Watering them, and then once they get a little bit more mature, the ones that seem to like it and make it, I'm gonna fertilize with a berry fertilizer, okay? I had some extras. I even did the same thing over here, okay? So we're gonna see how those take off. But the idea here for me, okay, is to basically see what will thrive this season, see what control the runners, whatever. And then when I get my other garden set up in the ground, I can then thin this out and take it from there. Does that make sense? So I'll keep you posted. I will tell you one more thing. So obviously I have this on a flat area on the ground, and here's some of the paper that were in the strawberries. They were shipped. I got these from, were these from Starks? Were these So True Seed? These are Starks. These are Starks, you can see right here. I got this batch from Starks. The other ones I planted this year, I believe they're from So True. No, they're from Haas. I've ordered from several different places. I apologize. But anyway, long story short, somebody said, why don't you take rocks? Because you're not going to want to move this if you don't have to. So mow it down, and then put rocks around. If you've got big rocks, which we have tons of river rock naturally here, as we till and move. You've seen we're Rocky Top, y'all. But they're river, and from old river waterbeds. So I'm going to go around it with the rock, and that way the weed eater is not going to hit this. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. And of course, as you know, you can control weeds with white vinegar. So we'll see how it does. If half of these make it and do great, to me personally, every time I plant strawberries, I'm always tickled if more than half survive. It's just the way that it goes with strawberries sometimes. So we'll see how she rolls. Okay, so this is mega. Y'all, my entire farm and my entire house is now officially on beautiful well water. So here's the deal. It's not a big deal. We were planning to reconnect to the well that was already here when we moved here. That's been well over 2 years and 2 months ago. This has been a while. This has been a major plan for us for a long time. We actually put the plan into full action last May. It's taken us almost a year to get this done for various reasons. To have the gentleman be able to be scheduled to come and put it in, to get certain parts. Then we had to work with the weather because, see, we're, Rocky Top, Tennessee, so we're rolling hills where we are, okay? So, and plus, see, I'm fenced in, so he couldn't bring in all of his equipment close to my house with any of the ground really being saturated at all. And we get a lot of rain from time to time, as you know. So we had to really play the weather. And so this week we are in the 80s. That's why I've got this crazy hat on. We're 85 degrees. We've dried up a lot. So it was a great time to finally get the well dug. The well was here. The reason the previous owner was not on well water when we bought the home is because of a lightning storm. The pump stopped working, had an electric storm. So he decided just to go ahead and switch to public. And so we decided to take it back. So we've had everything new, and we're just really excited. At first I thought it was just gonna be accessible in terms of going to the house, but it's not. It's actually for our animals and for us. And yes, now that we hit water at 100 feet. So obviously everything had to be submerged deeper than that. I think, it's like 240. This is not my expertise, okay? I act like I know everything about like everything else, but this is not it. James is the man you need to talk to if you have questions. So, but I do know those numbers are right, but it's not like trying to measure headspace on a canning jar. I can get this, okay? But we are ordering now a hand pump. We wanted to wait until, we already have our order going in today for a really nice hand pump also, but we wanted to verify the depth because that you get different ones according to depth. So that's on the agenda for today. James is in charge of ordering it. It's all worked out. So that's pretty much it on that. That's very exciting. But see, I couldn't do a lot of planting and different things up in this area because we knew that he was going to be bringing all this massive equipment in, and it would just, depending on when he did it, it would take down everything that we have, including the lasagna garden, which is why it's not expanded for my strawberries. That's why my strawberries are in a pool, but I think it'll be cute. So you see my deal. But long story short, as far as the strawberries, right now what matters is that you're putting food away and you're putting it in the ground, okay? Do the best you can and know that you're going to have to be spending a lot of time, energy, and probably some money in order to get things established. That's just the way that rolls. But I would say of all the things that we've done within the last year, obviously getting back onto beautiful well water, and we know it's really good. We're going to go through the motions of everything, having it tested and everything, but we've talked to the owner again, and he was like, there's no problem. I'm telling you right now, the water is awesome. I didn't take it out because it was an issue with the water. The pump stopped working, and I just am getting older, and I just went to public. My Nan and Papa did the exact same thing. So, here we are. Okay. You can barely see this, and I realize that. I highly recommend, by the way, before I start jabbering away, go to Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, wherever. If you're going to be planting, I am telling you, you need to get some of these. You can get you these little stakey little deals with the flags. They're ask where they are and invest in these. Some of them from last year I'm using again. So I bought a new little pack. I mean, my onions are already coming alive and thriving here in the lasagna garden, but because they were difficult to see the rows, I'm putting these in. I do this in all of my gardens, and eventually you'll pull them up. You won't need them, but for the first couple of weeks, see, you can figure out. So I know onion, and then I put a flag where I started a new type of onion, I ended that. This is my candy. These are from Dixondale. And then this one starts a new bit, and then that ends it. And then, look y'all, I've got taters under here. This is gonna be really interesting to see. This is that lasagna garden I started last fall. I'm gonna be expanding it once we get the hand pump in, and I don't have any more big trucks coming down into my yard. I can expand it a little bit and take it, feel better about everything. But I want to show you, this is working out beautifully. Everything is thriving in it. So I'll keep you posted. Okay, so I was debating testing out my potato seeds, the leftovers, the Yukon Golds. I was going to test them out after I got done with the lasagna garden. So those are planted. I still had some. So I thought, well, I'm gonna do them in corn bags. Why not? Well, I haven't gotten to that. And then I was gonna use the baby pool. And then I was like, I've got to plant these crazy strawberries. So I was looking around. I was like, what am I gonna do? And I thought, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use these. These are from Lowe's. You can get them from Home Depot. These are not food grade. I know they're not food grade. I have food grade buckets right over there that I got for $1 each. If you're looking for food grade buckets, because I know they're rarer than hen's teeth right now, y'all. A lot of people check at bakeries. Check your delis. Mine are pickles. Mine were pickle tubs, food grade. They're 5 gallon. I got them and the lids at a local deli. They even had a sign in the window. Ask them if they have any pickle buckets back there for, you know, they may give them to you, but I got mine for $1. But anyway, last year when we planted all of our trees, apple trees, apricots and whatnot, I may still have to use some of these this year. I have a few left over. I bought some of these, put some rocks in the bottom, simply to keep it full with water to slow drain and keep my beautiful little trees happy and watered. So I'm going to use these. You can get them at Lowe's, Home Depot, okay? This is what we're going to use for potatoes. And do they work? Yes, they work. I've done this long ago, before I ever had a YouTube channel. We used new trash cans, drilled holes, and we used buckets. And it's not about what you're using so much. It's about how you are healing, how you're healing them taters. Growing potatoes, it's getting a little windy. If it's bothering the sound, I apologize, but boy, it feels good. It's hot today. Listen, I got to get these going, okay? I got to get them going, so I'm going to use them in, like I said, these buckets. And I did spray them off some, but they've been sitting out by the garage all winter, because see, I pulled them last fall. And I'm not going to worry about it, because we're going to pack this with dirt in the bottom. But these are my seed potatoes. They are the Yukon Gold. These are the ones that I cut some of them I didn't. But they are way ready to roll. I'm going to put 3 or 4 in each bucket. So I've got 6 I'm going to use, and we're going to see how that is. Now let me tell you something. Listen to me. First thing you're going to do, and you're going to see me do it, or right after I do it, is I'm going to put several inches of dirt in the bottom. It is no different than, think about how you have to put potatoes in the ground. If you've never planted potatoes in the ground, let me tell you how. Okay, we have multiple videos on planting potatoes, so I'm not going to go into a full deal here. But folks, basically, you work the ground up. You time it to when you want to plant them. It's up to you, Farmer's Almanac, whatever, however you do it. You're going to dig a big old trench, okay? You're going to space out your potatoes 9 to 12 inches if you can. And then you're going to cover them up. You're going to mound them up. You're going to mound over and make a little hill. Once the plant starts to grow, you have to hill the potatoes again. You typically are going to be hilling your potatoes, healing them, not heal like heal child, but like H-I-L-L. You're going to probably do it twice, okay? It's windy. I'm sorry, y'all, if it's messing it up, but so what you're going to be doing in the bucket is think about how you're going to have to hill it. You're going to have to add soil. But what we're doing today is we're simply getting them started. So we're going to put the dirt in a couple of inches. We're going to put 3 or 4 seed potatoes in each bucket, depending on size. We're going to cover them up. We're going to put them in a safe spot. We're going to water them. And probably in about 10 to 14 days, you should see plants starting to grow. Then at that point, you let them grow. You may at that point decide to add some fertilizer. Look it up, go with what you want to do there. Everybody has a different opinion. At that point, I would fertilize if I'm going to. Let the plant get established. You don't want to burn anything up with anything. Whenever I add fertilizer to anything, if I do, no matter what it is, I wait until the plant is doing really solid, very well established, so we don't mess anything up. That's just my own personal rule, you know. So same thing here. So you're going to let them grow. You're going to add more soil. So today, if I don't have enough soil of whatever, of mine or wherever that I'm satisfied with, the goal is simply to get soil in the buckets or whatever you're using to get these into the container and cover them up good. And then watch and then go from there. So it's really simple, really simple. Okay, so like I said, I just simply put this in, just kind of flattened it out a little bit. Didn't tamp it too hard, okay? You want loose soil as much as possible, and you want the potatoes to stay covered as much as possible. They like for it to be dark so they don't turn green, okay? So I'm just going to put, now look here, I'm just going to go with, that's kind of a big one. So we're gonna put, look here, look, God love it. We're gonna put Papa, Mama, and Baby in that one. Just Go with your gut on the size, okay? That's a pretty big one right there, all of them. I think 3 for each one is probably what I'm gonna do. And then I'll come back and I'm going to cover this. Remember, you gotta keep it covered. Also, remember, you want your eyes, where the growth is happening, you want them up, okay? So see what I'm doing? Like the little arms there, aren't they cute? That's where your plants are gonna come out of. And trust me, they're gonna get way high, okay? So I think with what I've got, I think 3 each is going to be more than plenty for each bucket. Okay, so I've ended up with a 7th. I had one more with holes in it. Honestly, I'm gonna have to watch these because some of these are big. So, you know, you honestly could get a good amount of potatoes probably out of 2. We're gonna test the 3. I don't have anything to lose here, okay? I have plenty of potatoes growing. So we're gonna test the 3 and see how they roll. I wouldn't do any more than 3, so I just wanna throw that out there, that do what you can. If all you can do is say 2, you just say you get a bag and you only have 8 really good potatoes, your seed potatoes with eyes, I would do 2 in each one, but I really want to try to use these up. So I'm going with this number. We're going to see how she rolls. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but you ain't getting nothing if you don't try. All right, guys, that's it. All I did was simply cover them with, you know, very loose soil. They're going to sit for maybe 7, 10, 14 days. And then you're gonna start looking for that little bit of beautiful greenery coming up, okay? Let it grow, keep them watered. You wanna keep it moist, but you don't wanna keep it saturated. You don't want these to rot. That's the whole point of putting drainage holes in the bottom. You could put some rocks down there if you wanted to. It's up to you. I didn't. I'm not stressed about it. So we will just keep an eye on it. But you know, you wanna understand that you've kept some moisture in there, but they're getting sunlight too. The potatoes remain really nicely covered. Let them grow, and then once they get a couple of inches, see, then you're gonna put more of the loose soil. You may wanna put some compost in there, like I said, your fertilizer. Once the plant is established, it'll eventually grow again, and it's gonna get above, you know, they're gonna get pretty tall. They'll flower, so you will probably add soil, I would think, a good 2 more times. Let them do their thing. These right here are the Yukon Golds, so I'll be looking at them being mature at somewhere in the ballpark of 85 to 90-ish days. Check your variety, do your homework, and there's no excuse to not plant food, guys. None. You can do it. You can do it anywhere. Thanks for watching. Oh, that feels so good. We'll see you guys on the next video.